Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
We'll see if they make a change there.
Yesterday, he completed 3 passes for over 35 yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the whole season with all those other Browns, they completed 1 ball over 35 yards. 1. That's why Myles Garrett's like, holy cow.
Oh, the sweet, sweet irony. It seems Rex Ryan once again finds himself caught in a web of his own hypocrisy, a situation that has played out for all to see. Just a few short weeks ago, he was on television, talking down on Shedeur Sanders, going so far as to question his work ethic and his on-field performance. But you know how this story goes. Fast forward to today, and Shedeur has completely, and I mean completely, shut him up. After an absolutely dominant performance against the Raiders, Shedeur has cemented himself as a genuine force to be reckoned with in the league. And what does Rex Ryan do in response? He backtracks, of course. He gets on air and publicly acknowledges that Shedeur is in fact better than Dillon Gabriel. In essence, Rex was left with absolutely no choice but to apologize, and you can practically feel the humiliation through the screen. So let's dive into how Rex Ryan went from doubting Shedeur to eating his own words in front of the whole world.
And the reason for it is that guy, Dillon Gabriel, has 0 traits for an NFL starter, physical traits.
Sure.
He might have the mental.
Yeah.
That's why I said I think he could be a hell of a coach one day.
Yeah.
All right? But he doesn't have a single trait.
And just like that, with his credibility on the line, Rex Ryan has now completely shifted his focus to a new target, Dillon Gabriel. He's now claiming that Gabriel is simply not NFL starter material. It's truly remarkable how quickly the tables have turned. After witnessing Shedeur Sanders' incredibly impressive performance, Ryan declared that Gabriel just doesn't possess what it takes to lead a professional team in the league. This is the very same guy, mind you, who was so openly and loudly criticizing Shedeur just weeks ago. Now, instead of trying to defend his previous stance, he's busy tearing down Gabriel, all while Shedeur just keeps on proving him wrong with every snap. Rex Ryan has clearly had a massive change of heart, even going as far as to praise Shedeur Sanders for his absolutely incredible arm talent. He had to acknowledge that Shedeur has stunned the world with his abilities, but in a classic move, Ryan made it clear he's known about Shedeur's potential all along. To back up this sudden change of tune, Rex even brought receipts, mentioning that before Shedeur's start last week, he had already thrown 3 passes over 65 yards in a single game. A truly staggering feat that surpasses the total number of such throws made by all other quarterbacks in their starts combined.
We know he's got that arm talent. I love his touch on the deep ball. I loved it in college. All right? And here's facts that'll say why you got to keep it. All right? Yesterday, he completed 3 passes for over 35 yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the whole season with all those other Browns, they completed 1 ball over 35 yards.
But even with all of Rex Ryan's newfound praise for Shedeur Sanders, it's crystal clear he just couldn't resist taking a little jab. It's almost like he physically couldn't stop himself. Even in this moment of Shedeur's undeniable success, Rex found a way to spin it into a criticism. He called out Shedeur for claiming that he was exactly what the Browns were looking for, dismissing it as a misguided statement. Rex then argued that it would have been a better look if Shedeur had given more credit to Garrett instead. But here's the thing, and this is what really matters. Rex completely missed the mark. This wasn't just some throwaway comment to brush off. It's a perfect example of Rex still nitpicking at Shedeur, a desperate attempt to find fault even when there is none, and frankly, that's a troubling sign.
Right now, they look at your defense, first thing you should have said is, we had 10 sacks on the quarterback.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Myles Garrett's the man. Come on, build people up. You're at that place. Build it. We're going to give you praise. You don't need to give it yourself.
He was fine.
When Rex Ryan tried to push this angle, suggesting that Shedeur's statement about being exactly what the Browns needed was somehow a display of arrogance, Dan Orlovsky wasn't having any of it. He stepped in and quickly shut that narrative down. Orlovsky powerfully argued that Shedeur's statement was perfectly fine, that there was absolutely no reason to view it as cocky or overconfident. He completely dismissed Rex's suggestion out of hand, making it crystal clear that Shedeur's confidence wasn't some over-the-top ego trip, but rather a simple, powerful display of belief in his own abilities. It was nothing more, and nothing less. It's the kind of self-assurance you want to see in a franchise quarterback.
You don't need to give it yourself.
He was fine.
He was good. He played well.
Despite all his attempts to throw some subtle shade at Shedeur, even Rex Ryan himself had to acknowledge Shedeur's elite status on the football field. And let's be honest, he's absolutely right about that. Shedeur Sanders made several jaw-dropping highlight reel plays during the game, but none were more memorable than his perfectly executed 57-yard bomb to his wide receiver. While the receiver unfortunately slipped and couldn't immediately turn it into a touchdown, the throw itself was a thing of beauty, nothing less than spectacular. You could see him leaning to his right, calmly reading the entire field, and instinctively knowing exactly where his receiver was going to be. With pinpoint, laser-like accuracy, he delivered the ball right on target. Eventually, Quinshon Judkins took the pass and turned it into a touchdown, capping off an incredible play that truly highlighted Sanders' remarkable vision and arm strength. But that wasn't the only impressive moment that caught Rex Ryan's eye. There were several. Shedeur continued to demonstrate his complete fearlessness with deep throws. On another play, he maintained that same calm, cool composure. Moving to his right, he drew the defenders in, and spotting Jerry Jeudy, wide open downfield, he launched a perfect, soaring, deep pass. Jeudy caught it in stride and was heading for a sure touchdown. But then, disaster. He fumbled the ball after a momentary lapse in focus. Despite that unfortunate mishap, there was absolutely no doubt about the quality of the throw. It was flawless, once again proving Sanders' ability to perform under immense pressure and make the big plays when they're needed most. Now, you might think it was just Shedeur's performance that changed Rex Ryan's tune, and you'd be partly right, but there was another huge factor at play: the massive backlash Rex was receiving from others in the media. Cam Newton, in particular, spoke out against the circus surrounding Cleveland, specifically calling out Rex Ryan for his role in fueling it. Some highlighted how often people are unfairly targeted over completely trivial matters. But what really stood out to Cam, though, was the deeper, underlying issue. Amidst all the noise and drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders, the real problem was clear as day. He argued that Shedeur was being criticized simply because some people couldn't accept the powerful narrative that was developing around him.
Shedeur Sanders. And when are we going to start realizing that you cannot control people? Some of the same things that people ridicule Shedeur Sanders is also the same things that makes people like Jackson Dart. It's in the eye of the beholder when you're regarding.
The Cleveland Browns officials certainly weren't happy with Rex Ryan's harsh and frankly unprofessional remarks about Shedeur Sanders either. Head coach Kevin Stefanski directly addressed the issue during a recent press conference, firmly and unequivocally rejecting the rumors that tried to label Shedeur as arrogant or narcissistic. Stefanski emphasized that these accusations were completely unfounded and baseless, insisting that Shedeur has been nothing but fully committed to his role as a professional. He made it clear that Shedeur has been doing everything asked of him during training and has shown unwavering dedication every single step of the way.
Yeah, all of our players, and I'd include Shedeur in this, are working extremely hard. We just finished our period after practice that we do every single day. Just finished a red zone 7-on-7 period where Shedeur and the rest of the younger guys are working on 10 reps. So he needs to continue to do exactly what he's been doing and continue to do what all these guys are doing.
In the end, it becomes incredibly clear why Rex Ryan was ultimately forced to apologize. At first, it seemed like his criticism of Shedeur Sanders was just another instance of his typical, bold, headline-grabbing commentary. But then something happened that Rex didn't count on. Shedeur's remarkable performance on the field became absolutely undeniable. Ryan was left with no choice but to backtrack. Shedeur's exceptional arm talent, his incredible calm under pressure, and his uncanny ability to make game-changing plays silenced any and all doubts about his ability to lead a team. The perfect throws, the poise in the pocket, and the undeniable vision he displayed proved that he's not only ready for the NFL, but that he's already making serious waves at the highest level. But let's be clear, it wasn't just Shedeur's stellar performance that turned the tide for Rex Ryan. The mounting pressure from his peers and critics alike, including powerful voices like Cam Newton and Michael Irvin, made it nearly impossible for Ryan to maintain his negative stance. These respected figures highlighted that Shedeur's confidence wasn't arrogance, but rather a reflection of his profound belief in his own abilities, a quality that shouldn't be criticized, but celebrated. On top of all that, Coach Stefanski and the Browns front office also stood up for Shedeur, calling out the unfair narrative surrounding him and defending his professionalism and dedication. Faced with this overwhelming wave of support for Shedeur and growing criticism from all sides, Ryan had no option left but to apologize. What's clear now is that, despite all the noise, it's Shedeur Sanders who stands tall. His performance on the field, his unwavering confidence, and the backing of those who truly understand the game have elevated him far above the petty criticism. Rex Ryan might have bitten the dust on this one, but Shedeur Sanders is the one proving his worth, and believe me, he's just getting started. So what do you think? Was Rex Ryan's initial criticism of Shedeur Sanders warranted in any way, or was it simply a case of a veteran analyst failing to recognize a rising star right in front of his eyes? Do you believe Shedeur's confidence is a sign of maturity and essential self-belief for a quarterback, or is it something that could potentially backfire as his career progresses? And now that we've seen Shedeur dominate, how do you think he'll continue to handle the pressure and criticism moving forward? Is this just the beginning of a long, successful career, or are there still major hurdles ahead? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below.